Hello and welcome to the Malika Writes channel. My name is Malika Writes and today I'm going to be talking about the Amazon Lord of the Rings series. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Amazon is releasing a Lord of the Rings series that will cover the majority of the Second Age of Middle-earth. So for those of you who have already heard the news about the fact that we will be seeing Black, Asian and Maori hobbits, you already know that there's something wrong there because hobbits were not mentioned in the Second Age of Middle-earth. So already Amazon is taking a little bit of a stretch with that. But there are only really three things I want to say about this. The first being that I will probably watch the first few episodes just to see whether I am surprised by any of the things that they add there, just to see whether, my predictions are correct. But if it continues to disappoint, I will obviously not be watching more. And if it surprises me, I'll probably watch more. So I think most people are of that mindset. I think in the opening weeks, it will probably do really well because people will want to see whether they've been proven right or wrong. But after that, unless it really does something drastic, I don't really see this series doing well from then on. So that's sort of my prediction for this show. The second thing I want to say is that fans of the books are not the target audience of this series. If you are a fan of Tolkien's work, and if you believe in what he said and what he wrote and his artistic vision, this is not the series for you. This series is targeted at young people. I say that like I'm not a young person myself, but this series is targeted at young people who are not necessarily fans of the book. This is targeted at people who have only really watched the movies and the theatrical release at that, not the extended version. This is really for people who don't really care that much about artistic integrity. And this is for people who are a lot younger and just want some form of entertainment. And for people who aren't really fans, it's not for people who actually care about the source material. So with that in mind, knowing the target audience, they were never writing for those who really love the books. Because I think to an extent that's such a big boot to fill. That's such a difficult thing to do for people to write something that would be loved by the fans. And in this current climate, that would make it really hard to do. If we were writing in a climate that wasn't as woke, it wouldn't have been a difficult task. I mean, Tolkien did the work. But writing something that the fans would love in a woke climate is what makes it hard. Because in order to stay true to the source material, we would have to be doing all the things that the woke crowd don't like. So I also want to mention that for Amazon, this isn't just a series that they want to do. This is a strategic business move. Amazon wants to get more people signed up to their Amazon Prime package, so they're not going to do anything that puts them at odds with the woke mob. They're going to behave and make decisions in a way that seems the most politically correct. So that is why they are making this move, and that's why it was never written for true fans of Tolkien. The third thing I want to say is that the reason why fans have an issue with the casting of Black hobbits is not because the fans are racist. It's not because the fans don't want to see diversity at all. I mean, there are places that diversity could be in the Silmarillion. For example, the Haradrim. I'm pretty sure not every single member of the Haradrim was a bad person. We could focus on the good ones. I mean, the people of Numenor have the potential to be slightly mixed, and I don't think most people would be annoyed by that. After all, we did have some mixing in Bereliand before they went off to Numenor. So there is potential for there to be some sort of slightly tanned people. The Numenorians, after all, live on an island, so we're looking at people who sort of look like Mediterranean people. There is an opportunity for us to have a slightly more diverse cast, but making Black, Asian and Maori hobbits is not it, and it really doesn't make sense. So when it comes to why fans are annoyed at that sort of move, it's not because we're racist. It's because it doesn't stick true to the text. And that it's to do with an issue that's a lot deeper. It's not such a surface thing as those who are in opposition are making out to be. It's about artistic integrity. It's about the fact that when an artist spends that much time producing a beautiful piece of work, we need to honor that. Because it's almost like you're saying that you could write it better, and if that case, if you could, then please go ahead and write your own. But if you're taking somebody's work, give them the honor of actually sticking true to what they wrote. And that's the bigger issue here. It's not necessarily about black elves or things like that. It's about artistic integrity. And that's the bigger issue here, and that's what we're seeing. That's what ruined the Star Wars franchise. And I don't know why they haven't learned from that, but you know, history repeats itself. So I guess that's that. And I think I'll just add this point about why I am giving this series a chance. Because I do still think there is a chance that they could make this all work. It's a very slim one, and it's very unlikely that they will pull this off nicely. But the reason I'm giving it a chance is because when you go to the theatre, the race of the actor does not necessarily matter. So if that same attitude translates to the series, I think it will not make a difference. I think that if none of the themes that are brought up focus on race or focus on feminism or focus on these politically charged concepts, and everyone is just playing a character and sticking true to the essence of Tolkien, it could potentially be a good thing. You know, I don't think the fans would be so upset if that were the case. But the reason why everyone is skeptical is because, and the reason why I'm skeptical, is because when a character changes race, it never adds any depth. The character, in fact, loses depth and becomes all about their race. It's not a character who happens to be black, it's a black character, which is a horrible thing to do, because that's the fundamental racist idea. The fact that your skin color has more to tell about you than the content of your character. And that is the woke mentality, which is why everyone with sense hates it. So the reason why I'm giving it a chance is because I am hoping that the theatre attitude translates to the series, and that the characters don't make their race, their skin color, the main focus of their characteristics and the main focus of their lives. I hope that the content of their character shines through. If that is the case, then I really don't care what color they are, to be honest. But because of the climate we live in, it's almost the automatic assumption, with good reason, because every time a character changes gender or changes their race, they become a political symbol. And stories are not there, especially stories like Tolkien's, are not there to talk about politics. It's not an allegory. It's a good story. and it's meant to be enjoyed. We're not here to be schooled on politics. This is not where you do it. So if things remain true to the essence of Tolkien and the character's race doesn't become an issue, or their gender politics doesn't become an issue, or their identity politics doesn't become an issue, fine. I think most people will not care. But if it does become an issue, if this suddenly becomes an allegory for race relations in the US, or a comment about the patriarchy, oh my gosh, that would alienate the entire fandom. But if it remains true to that theatre spirit of a character can be a different race or gender and it really does not matter, then fair enough. That's fine. And I think most people would agree, most people in the middle would agree that, okay, whatever. And so I hope it remains true to that kind of spirit. And that is all I'm going to say on this until the series comes out. I know other things are probably going to come out that will make people outraged and all that stuff. But I'm going to try and make this the last video that I make about the Amazon series before it comes out. So yeah, that's all I have to say, and I look forward to your comments. I know that some people are going to disagree with me completely, but that's fine. We can talk about it and we can discuss why you disagree or why you agree. So let's see. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that we can have some interesting discussion. Have a lovely day. This has been the Malika Writes channel.